Hello, my name is Michael. I want to show you my side project. This is a web application for accessing your local Docker engine. So I'm running on Windows under WSL, Windows subsystem for Linux. So let's start with downloading a script, run a script from my GitHub repository. We need to make it executable. Another detail, we should make the Docker engine accessible for the current shell, for the current user. So now we are ready to go. Yes. So let's run the web server. This is the most simple command. We'll get to more options later. Oh, this one is the wrong one. Oops, here we go. Yeah. Here we have the main screen. It is listing all of the Docker images installed. We can, for example, inspect a given Docker image. This one is listing, for example, the configuration of the Docker image, the operating system architecture, things like the environment used to run the main command and the main command itself, etc., etc. You can also see the history for this image. When you're building a Docker image, then in most cases you're running the contents of a Docker file, which consists of multiple commands. Each command is adding another layer on top of the file system, layered file system of this container. So the layered file system of a container has the reverse order of precedence, meaning that a command added by a file added by a later command is taking precedence over files added by an earlier command. It's a kind of onion file system. This was some trivia, Docker trivia. Other things, for example, you see when a Docker image was created, its size, etc. We could remove an image from the local Docker repository or create a container. We'll come to that later. You can examine Docker images in the Docker Hub repository, or other repositories as well, actually. Here we see the official Alpine image. This one is a Linux distribution often used with very slim containers. You see there are multiple versions of the image installed. For each image, you can see the operating system and CPU architecture for that image, etc., etc. You actually can list through all the obtained search results. So let's, for example, pull an image. An older version of Alpine is now being pulled. Very nice. So this one is being listed. Just downloaded it. So let's create a container using that image. So this one will create a Docker container which is running in the detached mode. So we need a command that will keep this container busy. And now in the list of containers, we have a new container with Alpine 3.13 just being created. You can attach to that container a shell to that container, inspect all of the running processes. Very nice. Everything you can do can be done here right within the browser. What else is there? Yes, when you can actually stop a container, running container. Let's do that. When you're done with it, just stop it. And stuff like oh, yeah, no longer listed. Yes, we can inspect general information about the Docker engine, stuff like that. And you can, when you're done with it, you can stop the container. So this is going to stop the container that was running the web application. Now, there are many other options. For example, you might wish to run a container on a different port, and you might want to create a self-signed certificate for that web server and require username and password. This one is this command. This one will, in addition to the self-signed certificate, require a password, username and password. Here we have it. Yes, of course, it will require us. And it is asking for the credentials. Here we have it. So this one is a bit slightly less, slightly more secured. If you might need to access this application from a different machine, then you would need to use these options. Also, you might need to open this port 9001 for access from a different machine. That's more or less what this application is doing. Just a few words on how this one is working. Actually, the Docker container isn't running the Docker CLI. It is community. It is sending HTTP requests to a Unix domain socket. Actually, that's what the Docker CLI commands are also doing. When you look at this example, you see that the command docker image is being run with strace. We are going to record all of its actions, interactions with this Unix domain socket. So let's take a look. Here, as you see, a HTTP request is being sent to the Docker daemon, and let's look at the response, which is forthcoming. Oh, here you see the HTTP response for this command, which is listing all of the Docker images as expected. And what was this file descriptor that we were looking at? It's number 3. Excuse me. Oh, here you have. Yeah. No, we just paused that. Oh, we just get. Open hat. Just a second. If you take a further look, it's just this the same socket that we were talking were mentioning earlier. Okay. So this is more or less what this application is doing. I hope you enjoyed this show. Thank you for your attention.